Greetings, one and all. Those of you who follow my channel rather closely will know that I love playing fantasy hockey. Whether it's a season-long league with my subscribers or daily fantasy hockey, you know that I love playing it all. My love of fantasy hockey has become so noticeable on the channel that I've been requested to make a video on how I go about drafting my daily fantasy teams and outline my strategy to you guys. To show you my tactics, we shall be using the sponsor for today's video, Drafters.com. Drafters.com is a new up-and-coming fantasy sports platform where you can enter free or paid daily fantasy leagues to try and test your skills or play for money in any of the big four American sports, such as the NHL, the NFL, the NBA, or the MLB. The site left its beta testing stage a couple of months ago and has been steadily growing their player base to now where there are hundreds of lobbies for each sport to enter every day. Drafters' hockey lobbies use the standard fantasy hockey drafting system, with each player taking turns to pick a roster consisting of a centre, a left wing, a right wing, 2 defensemen and a goalie. Whilst that sounds like a lot of players, with the smaller sized NHL lobbies they offer for just 2 or 3 participants and a winner-takes-all prize system, you can have your team set up and ready to try and win you some real cash in minutes. You can sign up to Drafters for free by going to Drafters.com, and if you enter the promo code OddmanRushYT, then you will receive $10 in your new account with no deposit required. Think of it as a great way to try the site before you buy. Not many other fantasy sports sites will give you a free $10 to play, that is for sure, ladies and gentlemen. So sign up to Drafters, enter the promo code to show them that I sent you, and start playing daily fantasy hockey today. Also, feel free to add me as a friend on Drafters, the username is OddmanRushYT, and who knows, perhaps we could set up some cash lobbies where I play against you guys, and we put that $10 to good use. You might even beat me! Now those are some pretty good bragging rights on this channel, ladies and gents. Remember though that you must be 18 or older to play Drafters, and I urge you to please play responsibly. Real money is spent on a lot of these lobbies, and I don't want you blowing money that you can't afford to lose just because you want to get back on a winning streak, or you want to finally win one of these lobbies. So be smart and have some common sense when you're playing, yeah? One last thing I should mention before we start is that I would especially love to hear from those users in the comments who try and play on Drafters.com from the UK or any other European country. Drafters operates in North America and Canada, and are now beginning to look into branching out to Europe, so they can't guarantee that everything will work as smoothly as it does for the North American or Canadian users for the time being. I'm using it in the UK and it works absolutely fine for me, but that may or may not be the case for everyone in Europe at this point. So if you do give this site a go and you're in Europe, let me or Drafters know what your experience is like. I'm sure they'd love to hear feedback. But anyway, let's jump into a lobby, draft a team, and have a look at how Drafters works, shall we? So here we are in a Drafters NHL lobby. As you can see, there is myself and 2 other people ready to draft our players. The draft doesn't start until the lobby is full, and it follows the typical fantasy draft structure. The person that picks first in the first round will pick last in the second round, and the last person to pick in the first round will pick first in the second, etc, etc, with the middle person in the draft always picking second in each round. As you join each lobby, you will have 2 minutes to take a look at the different games in the NHL being played that day and the players available to draft before the first player is on the clock. And once those 2 pre-draft minutes are up, each player gets 40 seconds to make each draft pick, so it clearly pays to do your research before entering the lobby. You really have to go in with a game plan and be able to think on your feet when other contestants take the players you want. For example, you might decide that you're going to draft a goalie first, or start with a centre, but you might have to adjust that strategy if the one person you wanted to draft in that position gets chosen before you. So, player 1 is on the clock. Let's see how this draft goes, shall we, folks? So we have the 3rd and 4th picks in this draft, so we're at the end of round 1, at the start of round 2, and that will continue for the rest of the draft. Okay, so it'll be very interesting to see what the other 2 players pick. Because we have the last pick in the first round, we can very much gear our strategy on the players that we pick based on who the other 2 players pick first. For example, if they both pick a player from the same position, we don't need to pick a player from that position till the very end for our final pick, because they won't need to pick a player from that position anymore. However, if they pick a player from different positions, then we may as well just go for the player that we want the most to be honest. We very much hold some cards here. Oh, and Connor Hellebuck. Okay, so Connor Hellebuck is the first player to go. So player 1 has taken a goalie. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Let's see who player 2 picks, and we can start to gear our strategy here. I'm very much looking at Austin Matthews first. I'm really hoping that player 2 doesn't pick Austin Matthews, because he's had an absolutely fantastic start to the season. NHL's first star of the week for the first week of their new 18-19 season. He's had a fantastic start. There are some other interesting centres here that I might be able to pick, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going on. So about 10 seconds left for this guy's pick. I just want to see who he picks, because then we can start to create our strategy. That's the one thing about being third place. We kind of have to wait to see what the others do. You can go in with a clear strategy, but I want to see what they pick. Andrei Vasilevsky. Okay, interesting. So both of the first 2 players have picked goaltenders, which means we don't need to pick a goaltender until the very end. So you know what? We're going to go pick Austin Matthews. He's had a fantastic start. 7 goals, 10 points in 4 games to start the season. You know what, Austin Matthews joined my team. Thank you very much. And now we have another pick. So we still don't need to pick a goalie until the very end. Let's take a look at some left wingers. So we've got Ovi. Ovi's always a good pick. We've got some right wingers, maybe Kucherov, Pasternak, Laine, Wheeler. Pasternak's looking pretty good. He had a very good game last time with some of his line mates. But I'm thinking, should we go Ovi? I'm thinking he's, had 5 points in 3 games? Yeah, let's go Ovi. Let's go Ovi. I want to draft Ovi. Alexander Ovechkin. No, or shall we? Pasternak. Oh, I just can't pick. I can't pick. Pasternak. No, you know what? No, we are going with Alex Ovechkin. We've got to pick him. Ovi is a stud. So we've got ourselves our centre and our left wing for this lineup already. And because the 2 other players picked goalies first, that means we pretty much got to go in there and sneak some top forwards. Ah, Nikita Kucherov has gone 5th place. Oh, that's an interesting pick. He's a very good player, obviously. So that's the best right winger potentially available gone, which isn't a huge loss. We can still go for a right winger. Oh, Connor McDavid is gone. Connor McDavid dropped all the way to 6th. Patrick Laine goes 7th for Winnipeg. Okay, interesting. So Connor McDavid and Patrick Laine gone. Nathan McKinnon goes 8th. Then it's us at 9th. So I think we should go for a winger. We've got Pasternak, we've got Kane. There's some defensemen available. Nobody's picked a defenseman so far, so we could sneak in and pick one that we really want. John Carlson, let's take a look at him. 6 points in 3 games. Yeah, you know what? John Carlson's had a very good start to the season. We'll take you, John Carlson. I think that's a really good pick. We've got one of the defensemen that we need. So both players, both players have already picked their right wing. So we don't need to pick a right wing for a while, but we could go and sneak one in now if we really wanted to. That could be quite interesting. So who have we got so far? We've got John Carlson, we've got Austin Matthews, and we've got Alexander Ovechkin. Those are some pretty decent players. Who should we pick next? We can go for defenseman. Let's pick a winger. Let's see if we can pick a winger. The average points over here. Pasternak's had a good game. Patrick Kane, though, 6 points in 3 games. Yeah, you know what, Patrick Kane. Welcome to the team, Patrick Kane. So we've got Carlson, we've got Kane, we've got Austin Matthews and Alexander Ovechkin. So we need one more defenseman and one more goaltender in order to fill out our roster. So in terms of looking at these defensemen, I think we'll leave our goaltender pick to last, to be honest. So if we look at the defensemen here, Mark Giordano looks like he might be quite good. We've got Eric Carlson as well. Paul Ledoux. I don't know. I don't really know much about him, so I probably wouldn't go for him. Big Buff, we could also go for him. I'm liking the look of PK Subban, though. He's had a very good start to the season, I think. He's put up some decent points so far this season. Brad Marchand. Oh, the rat goes number 11, does he? So, Brad Marchand has been picked. Taylor Hall goes for the left wing. Wow, these are some quick picks. Number 13 up. Brent Burns. Okay, so the potentially highest projected defenseman goes. Brent Burns, 13th overall. So now it's another player. Then we get our 2 picks. I thought it was our pick next, but no, we've got another pick before it's our turn. Patience, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Carlson gets picked. Okay. So we've got Victor Hedman. He hasn't had a very good start to the season by the looks of it. You know what? PK Subban. 3 points in 3 games, a goal and 2 assists. I'm quite happy with that. We'll go PK Subban. And then for our last pick, we need a goaltender. So let's take a look at who we get. Carter Hutton's had a very good start to the season. Semyon Varlamov, Devin Dubnyk look like they're going to have some really good times. I don't know. We've got to look at the opponents here. Dubnyk's against Chicago. Varlamov is up against Buffalo. Carter Hutton's up against Colorado. You know what? Yes. Carter Hutton. He's played pretty well this season. He's made a lot of saves for the Buffalo Sabres, and he's been there when the team has needed him. So yes, we're going to go Carter Hutton. So that is our team finished. So we have Austin Matthews, Alexander Ovechkin, John Carlson, Patrick Kane, Carter Hutton, and PK Subban. So there you go. The draft is finished. So let's take a look at our team. So the draft for this lobby is now complete, and as you can tell, the drafting process took no time at all. It took no longer than a couple of minutes, if that, which is pretty awesome for people that may have a shorter attention span when it comes to drafting and don't want to sit through an entire 7-round draft, or if you want to join a lobby when you have a spare couple of minutes during a busy day. But once you have finished drafting, you can check out your team, see how they match up against your opponents, and see if you want to make any changes to your lineup. Drafters allows you to make up to 5 player swaps before the games begin, which helps if you discover that a player you picked has recently been placed on injured reserve, or if you have decided you can pick a better player for that position, which I think is really cool, and it allows you to have a lot more control over your lineup. You don't feel like you're locked in or you're trapped with the original players that you drafted, which is especially great if you missed the draft and ended up getting loads of players that you didn't want because you weren't there. Also, a unique feature that I really like on drafters is the ability to move players around your lineup if they are listed as playing more than one position. For example, if you want to pick a different centre to your lineup, your current centre that you've got in your lineup also plays left wing, and you want to drop your current left winger, you can move your centre to the left wing position, then swap your left wing for another centre that hasn't been drafted. This is really awesome for those that like to chop and change their roster until they find the best lineup for them, and I think this is something that sets drafters apart from some of the bigger fantasy sports products that usually assign all players to one specific position, or they don't allow you to change your player's position if they play more than one. And there you go! That's how I draft my fantasy hockey lineups using drafters.com. I want to say a big thank you to Drafters once again for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to sign up with the offer code OddmanRushYT to get $10 to play with no deposit required. I'll put a link to the site in the description below if you're interested in signing up. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, share, or watch some of my other videos. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!